Welcome to the Daily News AI. Donald Trump raises a valid point here. When Donald Trump speaks, emotions run high. Supporters cheer his bluntness. Critics decry his exaggerations. But every now and then, a moment cuts through the noise. Wait, he actually has a point. And it's true, amid the controversy, conspiracy theories, and norm-breaking rhetoric, Trump has occasionally spotlighted real, long-ignored problems in American policy and society. That doesn't make him right overall. It does mean we should examine what those valid concerns are, and how they became buried under distortion. The real issues he highlighted. 1. U.S. overdependence on China. Long before the Biden administration warned of supply chain risks, Trump targeted China's trade practices, intellectual property theft, forced tech transfers, and massive trade imbalances. While his sweeping tariffs hurt U.S. farmers and raised consumer prices, they sparked a national conversation about economic security. Today, both parties agree, reducing reliance on Beijing is essential for national defense and industrial resilience. 2. NATO burden sharing was out of balance. Trump infuriated allies by demanding that NATO members spend at least 2% of GDP on defense. His tone was abrasive, but the substance had merit. For decades, European nations underinvested in their militaries while the US covered most costs. Since 2016, the number of NATO countries meeting the target has jumped from 5 to over a dozen, a shift even President Biden acknowledges as necessary. 3. Neglect of working-class America. While Washington focused on stock markets and tech booms, Trump gave voice to communities left behind, rural towns, deindustrialized cities, and regions ravaged by opioids and job loss. He didn't offer coherent solutions, but he named a truth: globalization benefited the top while leaving millions behind. That pain helped fuel political upheaval across the West. 4. Government inefficiency and bureaucracy. Trump railed against the swamp, a vague term, but one that resonated because many Americans feel government is slow, wasteful, or unresponsive. Whether it's VA wait times, immigration backlogs, or infrastructure delays, public trust in institutions has declined for decades. Trump weaponized that frustration, but the problem itself is real. Where he crossed the line. Spotting a problem isn't the same as solving it, and Trump's approach often made things worse. He blamed entire groups, calling immigrants criminals without evidence. He claimed the 2020 election was stolen despite no proof, undermining faith in democracy. He promised simple fixes to complex issues: "I alone can fix it." He used legitimate grievances to justify authoritarian ideas, like jailing opponents or deploying troops domestically. And crucially, he conflates criticism with betrayal, turning policy debate into personal warfare. So what does valid point mean? It means we must separate issue recognition from policy reality. Trump saw cracks in the foundation, but instead of repairing them, he often poured gasoline on the fire. As journalist Ezra Klein put it, he diagnosed the disease but prescribed poison as medicine. Recognizing a kernel of truth in Trump's rhetoric doesn't excuse the falsehoods, incitement, or erosion of democratic norms. But dismissing everything he says out of hand risks repeating the neglect that allowed him to rise in the first place. The challenge for American democracy isn't just defeating demagoguery, it's addressing the real anxieties beneath it. Because when people feel unheard, someone will eventually scream loud enough to get their attention. This is the Daily News AI. We report the facts, not just the headlines. Thanks for watching.